Hi, I'm Emmanuel and welcome to my playthrough. And welcome to turn 1 of Tiny Epic Game of Thrones solo playthrough. So let's get started right away. First things first, I gotta roll the dice. House rule, if it falls out of the box, it doesn't count. And here we go, we have a sail action, I got a recruit action, and I have a march action. Let's take a look at my cards. At any given time, I'm allowed to have 4 cards in my hand, excluding any character cards. So as I gain allies and I gain these cards over here, these won't count towards my hand limit. So Hoster Tully, his ability says, gain 2 coins and then take 1 power token from the token pool of a non-player house that you are not allied with and place it in your ally pool. That's not bad. We have Assault by Sea. I'll pause it here so you can read it. Higher Sellswords. Complex Negotiations. And the King's Roads. So let me think about what I want to do and I'll come right back. All right, I have decided what I'm going to do. I am going to take the march order over here and I'm going to put it on the event row. So I get to play an event and I chose to play my character card. When you play your character card, it doesn't get discarded. It just goes offhand, and then at the end of your turn, you get the card back. At the end of the round, I should say. So immediately gain 2 coins. So I'm at 3, I go to 5. And take 1 power token from the token pool of a non-player house that you are not allied with and place it in your ally pool. I have no alliances, so I can take from any house. I'm kind of central in the board. So are 2 of the other allies. So let's go ahead and take an ally token, a power token from the Stark family. So we can have some, once we get enough of these tokens, once we have 2 tokens at the end of the round, and we have the most tokens of the 2 players, then we get the alliance token. So that is the turn, and this gets put, I'll put it, let's say, off to the side over here. To say that it's played, I'll turn it sideways like that. Now I get to do a march order. Now there is a strict 3 unit limit on each space. So with some exceptions, if we ever get to the point where we have those exceptions, I'll explain it. So let's zoom in over here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this power token behind to control that territory with, and I'm going to take Hoster tokens and move down into Ashmark. I could move 2 spaces. So I could have walked into King's Landing. But King's Landing has a restriction. You can't walk into King's Landing unless you have 3 towers under your control, and I only have the 1. So that is my first action. Now we go over to the rival. Now what we didn't see is Olenna Tyrell. So for a solo playthrough, the hero cards of the rival are replaced with these solo cards. And it says here, if I lose a battle against Olenna, I must return 1 power token from my ally pool to its house token pool if possible. In other words, losing battles against her weakens my alliances. So gotta keep that in mind. And that's losing a battle against her character, which is right over here in Highgarden. So now it's their turn, so we're going to take a die. Let's go over here to the dice tray and see what we roll. And we roll a recruit symbol. So we'll put that over here. And we'll grab the first die card over here and look for the recruit symbol, which is right over here on the 3rd one. So the rival is going to take a recruit action followed by a plot action. So we go over here for the recruit action. Add 1 unit from its strongest ally to any rival-controlled domain of your choice. Olenna does not have any ally, so nothing happens, which is good. Secondly, there is a plot action. So the way that plot actions work, I'm going to discard that over here, is we go to the top of the deck over here, we flip the card, and there is a plot action. This is House Greyjoy. So she gets an alliance token from House Greyjoy into her ally pool, much like I have one from House Stark. And this will go into the discard. All right, got those fixed. There was a recruit and a sale action. So the last part of the rival's turn gives me an opportunity to copy the action that they took. This is a recruit action on this die, which I will copy. So I can recruit up to 2 units. Normally I can recruit from allies or my own units, but I have no allies right now. So I have to take it from my own units over here. So each one over here is over the $1, 1 coin per unit. So I'm going to hire the 2, which is the most you can do. And I get to put them anywhere on the board where I already have units. And I'm going to put them right here with my leader. Now, as I clear up the my units over here from the board, it frees up spots in front of on top of the objectives. And the objectives that have no pieces above them are the ones that I can score during the intermediate scoring. So now let's see what I'm going to do for my turn. I always have the ability here, House Tully's ability, to take any one of these dice and change it to a march order. Let me think about it and I'll be right back. Okay, I've thought long and hard on this, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm not going to change any of these dice. I'm going to keep them as is, and I am going to do a sale action paired with a march action. So when I march, I can march any unit up to 2 adjacent spaces on the board. I can pick up and drop off units as I move as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move from this territory. I'm actually only going to be moving a single one of these pieces, and I'm going to be moving this one north into the flint fingers up here. Unfortunately, all of the spaces here in the middle of the board are covered with units, and entering any unit in there will cause a battle, and I'm not ready to have a battle just yet. The second move is a sale move, and if you look over here, it says move your units from one domain to a domain either 1 or 2 map areas by sea. Now, all of the spaces are adjacent to ocean territory, so they can use this. So I'm going to actually take my hero, and I'm going to move him up to 2 spaces away, 2 maps cards away. I'm going to go 1, 2, and drop him here in Sunspear. And by going into Sunspear, I capture my second castle right there. Awesome. So let's go to the second die for the rival. The rival has rolled a Whisper. So let's put that right there. And let's get the second card over here, because the second die. And we look over here. The Whisper is over here. The rival will get a sale action followed by a Whisper action. So the sale action, she is on the bottom part of the map, which is this one over here. Here is the sale action, and it says she's going to go over to White Harbor. When possible, the player will always leave a token behind, and so she's going to be leaving a token behind. White Harbor is over here. So for the solo play, we just do what the card says. The rival player is able to break all kinds of rules. So she comes over here to White Harbor, leaving her control marker behind, followed by a Whisper. So for the Whisper, we come down over here, and this is for the event and a Whisper. Now, whenever at the conclusion of this, one of the cards from the deck gets burned. So that gets returned to the box. This deck does get reshuffled if it ever runs out, but that means that's one card that is permanently removed from the deck. So the rival gains 2 victory points if it has more castles than you, not tied. Well, they have 1 castle, I have 2, so this doesn't apply. So that card is done. We'll take the top card here and burn it back to the box. And now at the end of the turn, I have an opportunity to whisper as well, to copy that. And the way that works is I look at I can choose to discard any amount of cards that I have in my hand. For each card that I discard, for every one I discard, I get 1 gold. And then I draw back up to a hand of 4. So let me see here. I don't like this one. I don't like this one. These two are good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep these 2 here. I'm going to discard 2, which gains me 2 gold. And I bring my hand up to a hand of 4. Here are the 2 new cards that I'm keeping. All right. And that is the end of round 1. So now at the end of round 1, we go into taxation. First thing we do is we check for alliances. Does any of the characters have 2 or more power tokens from the allies? No. So nobody gets an alliance. Next thing we would do is we would cull down our ally pool, where we keep only 2 of the control tokens and all of the power tokens, and then the remaining, the excess, go back to the mats. That doesn't apply either. And then it's collect income. And the way that we collect income is we look at where we're occupying spaces on the board, and there's a gold coin. So for example, I have a gold coin over here, so I collect 1 income from that. And then we look over here, I collect 2 income over here, 1, 2. And finally, I would draw a card, but I already have a maximum hand size of 4, so I don't get to draw a card over here. And then the rivals' income is simply, they take the gold and they cover up the spots over here that I cannot take next round. And then we set this up over here. And that is the end of round 1. So come back tomorrow for round 2. I hope you enjoyed this short video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, don't forget to click my logo here to subscribe. Here is the first video in this series, which is the intro and the setup, as well as a playlist of other gameplays that I have on my channel. See you tomorrow, and thanks for watching.